Good morning, my dear children. So, today we are going to see two lessons because the two lessons are connected to each other. We are going to see that together, and that's very easy lesson and very small lesson and very interesting lesson. Okay, so we are going to learn deeply about our Indian democratic country and our laws and what are the things happening in our country. Are you all interested to know? Yes, very good children. So let's start. So first, from civics, fourth chapter, that is understanding laws. What is the chapter name? Understanding laws. Okay. So first line, do laws apply to all? Do laws apply to all? Whether it is applied to all or whether there is any exception, we are going to see that. Okay. The law cannot discriminate between persons on the basis of their religion, caste or gender. So, law cannot discriminate. That means it will not see any difference between any person based on their religion, caste or gender. Okay? Whether they belong to any religion, whether they belong to any caste or whether they are male or female, but they are equal to law. Okay? What the rule of law means is that all laws apply equally to all citizens of the country and no one can be above the law. Neither a government official, nor a wealthy person, nor even the president of the country is above the law. So what it says? The rule of the law is like it is equal to all the citizens in India. Okay. No one is above the law. Everyone is below the law. Okay. Even a big government official or a big rich man or the president of the country, no one is above the law. Everyone is equal to law. Okay. Any crime or violation of law has a specific punishment as well as a process through which the guilt of the person has to be established. So, if any crime, anyone did any mistake or violation of any law, that means they are not obeying the law, violating law, then what will happen? Then what will happen? It has a specific punishment. They will have some specific punishment. Okay, according to the law they will have punishment or else they will be jailed or they will give you some process. According to that they will be able to feel the guilt. Oh, we did the mistake, we should not do like this. They should understand. Okay. Move to the next slide. So, we know that everyone is equal before law. Okay. So, next, how do new laws come about? So, how new laws are coming? Okay. Parliament has an important role in making laws. Who is having the important role? Parliament. There are many ways through which this takes place. Okay. So, there are many ways through which new laws are framed. So, first point, the role of citizens is crucial in helping Parliament frame different concerns that people might have into laws. So, who is main? The role of citizen. We people, we are important in helping Parliament to frame different laws because according to your concern, they will frame different laws. From establishing the need for a new law to be passed at every stage of the process, the voice of the citizen is a crucial element. The voice can be heard through TV reports, newspapers, editorials, radio broadcasts, local meetings, all of which help in making of the work that Parliament does more accessible and transparent to the people. So, what do you understand from this? So, it's like we know that citizens, we people are important in helping the Parliament making laws. For our welfare only, Parliament is making many new laws. So, how that Parliament knows our voice? So, our voice can be heard through TV reports. From TV reports they can understand, from newspaper, from radios and from local meetings, and through all these they can understand people's need, and accordingly Parliament makes new laws. Unpopular and controversial laws. So unpopular and that some laws will be like against people, like people not satisfied with that law. If people are not satisfied with law, what will happen? Immediately people will protest against that law. Sometimes a law can't be constitutionally valid and hence legal, but it can continue to be unpopular and unacceptable to people because they feel that the intention behind it is unfair and harmful. So, if new law is framed and we people feel that this is unsafe and this is harmful, we can protest. We can say that we can be against that law. We can all together we can say about against to that law. When a large number of people begin to feel that the wrong law has been passed, then there is a pressure on the parliament to change this. Okay, so if large people is against that law, then there is some pressure in the parliament, then they will change that. Okay. The involvement and enthusiasm of the people helps Parliament perform its representative functions properly. So, our people's involvement and enthusiasm, our enthusiasm only make the people and the Parliament to function properly. Okay. So that's all in that understanding laws. Now we are going to judiciary lesson. Judiciary. So we are going to see about what is judiciary and what are the role. Okay. First, what is the role of judiciary? What is the role of judiciary? It can be divided into the following, like three. They have divided into three. Okay. First one, dispute resolution. So what they will do, judiciary? First, they will resolve disputes and problems between citizens or between government and citizen, or between state government and between the center and between two state governments. So these problems all will be solved by judiciary. Okay. The next, judicial review. Judiciary has the power to strike down particular laws passed by the parliament if it believes that are a violation of the basic structure of the constitution. This is called judiciary review. So, this judiciary that has the power to strike down some laws. So, that law is framed by parliament, but judiciary, if it feels like that is not correct and that is violating the constitution, then it has the right to strike it out. Okay. Next, upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. So, every citizen of India can approach the Supreme Court or High Court if they believe their fundamental rights have been violated. The rights for the is violated means they can reach Supreme Court and High Court and appeal. Okay. So, what are the three main roles? Dispute resolution, judicial review, and upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Okay. What is an independent judiciary? What is an independent judiciary? The independence of judiciary means other branches of government, the legislature and the executive, cannot interfere in the work of judiciary. The courts are not under the government and do not act on their behalf. So, independent of judiciary means this judiciary is independent. Okay, it is not under any branch of the government like legislature or executive. No one can interfere in the judiciary and the court is not under the government. Okay. Independence of the judiciary allows the court to play a central role in ensuring that there is no misuse of power by the legislature and the executive. So, it will be like in the center, it will not be under anything. Okay, in the center and will give the proper solution. Okay. Independence of the judiciary also play a crucial role in protecting the fundamental rights of citizens. So, this independence only helping the judiciary to play an important role in protecting our fundamental rights. Okay. What is the structure of courts in India? How many type of courts we are having in India? How our judiciary is followed? How many types of courts, structure of courts, how many levels of court? Okay. First one is district court. What is the first one, my dear children? District court. The court that has most people interact with are called subordinate or district courts or tessile level court. So, the court that have most people to interact, okay, which are subordinate or district court, okay. Then high court. Each state has a high court which is the highest court of the state. So, each state has one high court, okay, that is the main and high court of the state, okay. Then Supreme Court, that is at the top level. What is at the top level? Supreme Court. The decision made by the Supreme Court or binding on all other courts in India. It is located in New Delhi. Where is the Supreme Court is located? It is located in New Delhi. So whatever the decision taken by Supreme Court, that is final, okay. We can have integrated judicial system, which means that the decision by the higher court or binding on the lower courts. Okay. So, if one court it is like they didn't get the proper solution, they will move to the high court, and there if not they will move to the Supreme Court. So there it's the final decision. So above Supreme Court there is no other court. Okay. The appellate system exists in India, which means the person can appeal to higher court if they believe that the judgment passed by the lower court is not just. So appellate system, what is the system? Appellate system. Appellate system means first they are appealing to one court and they believe that this that judgment is not good, they move to the high court. And if high court is not good, if they feel like that, they move to the Supreme Court. Okay. So there is a system like that. So what is the first court? District Court. Second, High Court. And third, Supreme Court. So where is the District Court? District Court will be like many people can interact there. Okay. And in High Court, we have for each state we have one High Court. And Supreme Court, that is the top level court that is present at New Delhi. Okay. So all the decisions made by Supreme Court, all other courts have to obey the Supreme Court. Okay. Next, what are the different branches and the legal system? So we are going to see one table, difference between two law. Okay. First is criminal law and civil law. Criminal law and civil law. First, criminal law deals with conduct or acts that the law defines as offence, like theft, harassing women, dowry, murder. These all will come under criminal law. Okay, civil law means like dispute between the sale of land, purchase of land, rent matters or divorce cases. So these all will come under civil law, and that means it is deals with any harm or injury to the right of individual. Here individual itself is harmed. Okay. So criminal law example, theft, harassing a woman, dowry, murder. Civil law in the sense dispute between land or purchase of good or rent matters or divorce cases. Okay. First, criminal law. It usually begins with the lodging at first information report. So here FIR. Police will first write one report that is called FIR. So under that they will investigate the crime after which the case is filed. Okay. Here petition has to be given. Okay. Here petition has to be filed. Here FIR will be recorded first. Okay. If found guilty, the accused can be sent to the jail, also fined. So if it is like they are done the mistake, they will send to the jail and also they will fine. Here the court uses specific relief asked for. Okay. So these are the difference between two laws, criminal law and civil law. So main thing you have to keep in mind is like criminal law, like that deals with offences like theft, harassing women, dowry, murder, like this. And civil law, it deals with the harm to the right of the individual, like dispute in the selling the land or selling that land or purchase of goods or rent matters or divorce cases like that. In a criminal law, first FIR is filed. Here in civil law, petition has to be sent. Okay, like this, these are this. Does everyone has access to the court? So does everyone have access to the courts? Yes, everyone can access the court. All citizens of India have the right to access the court. Okay, so every Indian citizen has the right to access the court. The courts are available for all, but in reality, access to courts has always been difficult for a vast majority of poor in India. But in reality, very poor people are feeling difficult in approaching the court. Legal procedures involve lot of money and paperwork as well as take up a great deal of time. In this, so legal procedure, they need more money and paperwork. So this is very difficult for poor people. So in response to this, the Supreme Court in the early 1980s devised a mechanism of public interest litigation or PIL to increase access to justice. So what mechanism, my dear children? Public interest litigation or PIL to increase the access to justice. In that, everyone can approach for justice, for equality. It allowed any individual or organization to file a PIL in the High Court, PIL. PIL full form, what is the name of full form of PIL? Public interest litigation. Public interest litigation. See, public interest litigation in the High Court or the Supreme Court on behalf of those whose rights were being violated. So, any individual or organization, they can file this. So, for helping his right is being violated. So, on behalf of those, they can file. On behalf, they can file. Okay, understood? The phrase justice delayed is justice denied. So, justice have to be given at the proper time. If it is delayed, it is like denied. Okay, it is not given like that. Okay. So, extended time period that courts take. However, in spite of this, there is no denying that the judiciary has played a crucial role in democratic country, serving as a check on the powers of executive and the legislature as well as in protecting and the fundamental rights of the citizens. So, justice, it will not deny any justice. It will always play an important role in maintaining all the rules and play an important role in democratic India, serving as checking the power of every executive and legislature and also protecting fundamental rights. What is the main? Protecting the fundamental rights of all citizens. So that's all, children. So thank you for listening very interestingly and patiently. So what are the things we have seen today? First, we have seen understanding laws. Under understanding laws, we have seen about how that laws are equal to everyone. Okay, then how these new laws are framed. So if new laws, then people didn't like or like they feel like they are harmful. If large people, they came against this law, then there is a chance of changing that law. Okay. Then we have seen about judiciary. Judiciary. What is judiciary? What are the role of judiciary and how this judiciary plays an independent role. And after that, we have seen type of court. First, district court, high court and Supreme Court. Okay, then we have seen about how the court plays in protecting the fundamental rights of all citizens in India and checking all the powers. Okay, and because of this court, since that is like independent, it checks everything without any partiality. Okay, everyone in India has the right to access the court. It is equal for everyone. Okay. So that's all, my dear children. Thank you for listening. Thank you. Have a nice day.